Hello, my name is Breen. I'm a trial attorney. I practice with Howry, Breen, and Herman, a group of trial attorneys in Austin, Texas. We represent people and businesses that have been hurt through the negligence and other bad acts of others. Last summer, I got a call from Rip's wife. Rip was a middle-aged man who had been the victim of serious negligence in the hospital, and he was paralyzed. And the challenge of the case was it's a medical malpractice case in Texas, and they're capped on damages. They're also very difficult to win. There's a lot of insurance bias and lobbying against those cases in Texas in particular. And so we looked at it and we knew it could be a difficult case. And this case was about profits over safety. The hospital had decided to keep Rip as a patient within its system instead of sending him for a treatment that he desperately needed. And so as the clock ticked down while Rip and his family waited for the hospital to send him within the system instead of transferring him out, his spine basically was strangled. He had an abscess that was growing larger and larger, and a lot like a heart attack, the blood supply to the spinal cord was actually being cut off, strangling his spine and ultimately causing paralysis. We knew that we had to convey the message to the risk manager that we were serious, that this case was a multi-million dollar damage case. And in a case like that, I don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call Michael Caldwell at DK Global, let him know what I'm thinking, and immediately get the team involved. And what we needed to do in this case is we needed to convey to the risk manager a couple of very key concepts. Number one, we needed to convey the gross neglect and error, how bad it was what happened to Rip in the hospital, that he just sat there for days and days instead of being transferred somewhere. And so we had some super cool graphics that showed not only how serious his condition was, but literally the time elapsing as the hospital did nothing to treat him. Very impressive. That was the first part of it. The second part of what we needed to show the personal side of Rip's damages. What it's like for him to be paralyzed, what it's like for his family to deal with him being paralyzed. And of course, what it costs, not just the dollars and cents, which were massive, but the human cost. And that was the second part of our presentation. First part was just awesome liability setup. Second part was the human cost, the human condition, so that this risk manager could see exactly what his hospital had done. Presentation was a key factor in this settlement. And what we did with it was so good that we didn't just wait for mediation to play it. Along with the demand package, we sent digital copies and a link of the presentation to the risk management department of the hospital and gave them 30 days ahead of the mediation to watch it, to go over it. It was that impactful and that important. This case came to me in August of 2019, and we got it resolved within 6 months. And we got it resolved in a confidential settlement, a record-breaking settlement. I couldn't have done it without the help of DK Global and the presentation. You know, they say that really trial advocacy is an art, that basically being an advocate for your client is an art. That's true. It is an art. And when you're going to be involved in art, you should go ahead and get Rembrandt involved too. And that's what I do with DK Global, because I sit down with the team, I tell them what the key concepts are, and it's amazing. We have a collaborative back and forth, and we put a lot of work into these presentations, and it shows. Let me tell you something, it pays off.